speak to the criminal defence lawyer, the speeding specialist, Mr. Loophole, Nick Freeman. And I know your view... hello, Nick, by the way. I know your view here is that there is good mitigation.
Well, it's not even mitigation, Jeremy. He's had an appalling result, and my advice to him would be to appeal. He was in danger. At 95 miles an hour on the motorway, you get a fixed penalty, which is £100 and 3 points. He's 2 miles an hour over that. He would have got 5 points. That's what he should have got, 5 points, which would have put him on 11. So there's 6 relevant points on his licence. He would have got 5. That will give him one more opportunity. It appears to me that the court actually has wrongly looked at the wrong sentencing guidelines and actually sentenced him on the basis he was doing in excess of 101 miles per hour. Because at 97 miles an hour, the sentencing guidelines say 4 to 6 points, he's on the cusp, he's on 5, or a disqualification of up to 28 days. And if you get a disqualification, it's a short ban, it operates as an alternative to penalty points. So he's actually got the same sentence as he would have got had he been travelling in excess of 101. And the problem he's now got is he's going to be driving for his show. I'd advise him to drive very carefully, because as he's now got a short ban, but it's actually a 2-month ban, it's, I think, probably 56 days. That means if he tots during the next 3 years, the minimum period of disqualification won't be 6 months, it will be 12 months. And I think he would find it very hard to argue exceptional hardship because of his financial status, he will be able to afford a driver. I would earnestly suggest, Jeremy, he appeals it and goes to the Crown Court and gets 5 points. He's got the wrong result. And I know your listeners and your panelists are sitting there expressing their personal views about 20 miles an hour, et cetera, et cetera. There is a system in place, and this system has broken down in his case, and it's militated against him, not in his favour.
The question is whether anyone, Nick, should be able to say, I want a lesser penalty because I use my car. Because it's just a ridiculous argument. It's not mitigation. People say, I'm going to be exceptional hardship because I'm a plumber and I need my van, so please don't ban me. And the judge needs to say, well, I'm sorry, then don't speed.
Well, in an ideal world, Jeremy, you're right. 50% of motorists admit speeding every time they take a journey. So I think what we have is speed limits, which are going back to to the dark ages. The speed limits are too slow. As you know, Jeremy, the cyclists now overtake and undertake cars in London, which is, I know, a separate argument. So speed limits are too slow. On the motorway, it was the maximum speed of the Ford Anglia. 70 miles an hour is ridiculously slow in the right conditions. I'm not suggesting we travel at 90.
Christian is pulling a face. Why are you pulling a face?
I just think, this isn't just about the safety of drivers, of the people behind the wheel. It's about everyone's safety. And to start, arguing the toss about whether he was going 97 miles an hour or 101 miles an hour, if he lost control or hit someone or, I don't think they'd have been lying there, passing out and dying and thinking, oh, well, at least he was only going 97, not 101. I just think, listening to you, it strikes me that the law is, as a whole, just too lenient on bad drivers. We don't have permanent bans, for example, or we don't use them enough.
Go on, Nick.
Well, look, he's been banned, as I say. You believe he's had a lenient result. I'm telling you, as a lawyer, in my view, he's actually had the wrong result. He's had in excess of the maximum thrown at him, including his financial penalty, £2,500. He's pleaded guilty. He should have a third discount for pleading guilty. So from every perspective as a lawyer, and we are talking about a legal case in a court of law, that's what's relevant here. Right. And we do have sentencing guidelines, and it's wrong. So he needs to appeal it, and he should get a more lenient sentence. But I'm not advocating that we should be driving at 97 miles an hour. We shouldn't, and that's why the law's in place, and that's why people get punished for it.
Let's go to calls. Martin is in Shropshire. Martin, what do you think of that?
Well, I'm inclined to agree with Nick Freeman, actually. It seems that Steve had the wrong barrister to be, but I think it does cause a bit of a precedent that there is a bit of a two-tier system here. If Joe Bloggs in the street, he wouldn't, in fact, he wouldn't be I can't understand why Steve doesn't just, whom I like, I think he's a good actor, doesn't actually hire a chauffeur for 12 months or 6 months or whatever the ban is. I'm sure it's tax deductible.
He can't, I don't know if you've seen the programme The Trip. He can't do that with a chauffeur. That's old. He's behind the wheel with Rob Brydon. So, but you're right. In his private life, maybe he should do that. If he can't, if his foot seems to slip on the accelerator the whole time, that would be a solution. Yeah. Thanks, Martin. Val in Essex. Hi.
Hi, Jeremy. Hi.
Nick's made a powerful argument there.
He has, but my son went to court on Monday. He had 12 points on his licence for speeding over the course of a year. He did 22 miles an hour in a 20-mile limit twice, and 24 miles an hour in a 20-mile limit, and they fined him and they banned him for 6 months. I mean, he took.
Listen, I love road safety stuff. And I think 20-mile-an-hour limits are great, but that is brutal. That is the other side of it.
Unbelievable. He needs to drive for his job.
Yeah.
He took paperwork from his company, from his.
And he's been banned, has he?
Yes.
But Val, surely, however unfair it is, once he gets the first fine for doing 22. He's got to change his driving or he's going to get another one.
Yeah.
And once he gets the second one, he's got to change his driving or he's going to get banned. Now, if he can't change his driving, he needs to stop driving.
Well, he has stopped driving now, obviously.
But what do you think?
Seems unfair.
Helen wants to speak.
Yeah, I'm definitely with you because I just think actually it's harder when you've had the 20-mile-an-hour zone suddenly brought in when you've been doing 30 miles an hour in that road for years. Well, and then, but 20 to 21, 20 to 22 is not 70 to 94. No.
That's
not going to kill people. 94 is
97. Nick,
97,
the Coogan case where, Val's son who did 22. Do you get done for 22 now?
Mm-hmm. No, you don't. It's 10% plus 1. Yeah. So he shouldn't have been prosecuted for that, Jeremy. The threshold, he should start being prosecuted at 20% plus 1. It's 24 miles an hour is the level that they should be prosecuted at.
20% plus 1. Wait a minute, that's 25 miles an hour.
That's the tolerance zone. That's the tolerance zone.
Okay, interesting.
So 23 miles an hour. So he shouldn't be prosecuted at that. And he should have been arguing exceptional hardship. I don't know where they had the lawyer, but if you're going to lose your job, I imagine, unless he was living at home, he should have been successful. Again, that's worth considering an appeal, but I don't know the full facts.
Well, Val, all the best to your son. A lesson learned, I guess. Carla in Gloucestershire, hi.
Yeah, hi, Jeremy. Well, I really think we should be treated all the same, whether we're movie stars or actors. But don't get me wrong, I really like Steve Coogan and I find him very funny, but this is just beyond the pale. And as for your guest saying these horrendous speeds are okay, unless I've misconstrued what he was saying, but I don't think that's acceptable, really.
Well, I think Nick's point is on a motorway, you're very unlikely to kill several people going at 97. If you do it in a town centre, it's a different story.
Oh, I see what you mean. Well, I'll tell you, the roads in Germany are fantastic, and I really liked driving in Germany, but. England's got all these, potholes. Not on the motorway, obviously, but, I don't know, Jeremy. I just think we should all be treated the same.
I hear you, Carla. Thank you. Love and peace. Thanks for joining us, Nick, as well. Have a good weekend, Mr. Freeman. There he is.
Thank you very much, Jeremy.
The legendary Mr. Loophole. Later, it's the